So my name is Shani Kazaz, and today I'm going to share with you some tales from the AWS Crypt. So I'm a go-to-market specialist for serverless and containers, and in the past 6.5 years that I'm at AWS, I saw tons of great success stories of customers, but I also saw some, let's say, terrifying stories, and this is what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share 2 stories like that, and most importantly, how you can avoid being one of them. So let's start. Story number 1, company number 1 wakes up in the morning, good morning, and discovered that they have $16,000 billing for AWS Lambda. Now, for those of you who knows Lambda, this is a tremendous amount to get in only a few hours. And for those of you who don't know Lambda, so Lambda is a serverless service of AWS. It's function as a service, and it basically you don't supposed to get this amount in only a few hours. Now, what happened there? So we discovered that they had an infinite recursive loop, meaning that Lambda was triggered from a queue and wrote to the same queue, meaning that thousands of invocations without any good reason. Now, we basically have 2 different mechanisms to deal with those kind of issues. The first one is a recursion detection. It's true for SNS, SQS, and S3. And we are basically stopping your Lambda from being invoked after 16 times that we are detecting that your Lambda invoked and failed, meaning that the exit code should be error code. Now, second mechanism is that letter Q. You can implement it in your environments, and it's basically a mechanism to deal with unsuccessful messages. Now, both of those solutions didn't work for this specific customer. Why? Because they dealt with the error inside the code we try and catch. Now, we cannot enter the customer's code, so we cannot see what happened there, and so the function didn't fail. The exit code was successful, and also they wrote a new message to the queue inside the catch, so the letter Q would not help here as well. So what you can do to avoid this, so you cannot avoid making mistakes. Mistakes happens all the time. What you can do, it's minimizing the blast radius. So set alarms around usage and not around cost. Cost alarms are not real-time alarms, so set alarms around CPU, memory, invocations, whatever. Story number 2. Company number 2 wakes up in the morning, good morning, and discovered that all of their source code was being stolen. Everything. What happened there? So we basically discovered that they used a third party, and they gave them an API keys, super standard. The third party had a security breach, and the hackers could use the API's keys. What wasn't standard, it's that they gave them too many permissions. And one of those permissions was to read from ECR, Amazon Image Registry, and they looked for some images, and they found in one image credentials of the AWS user admin. Hard-coded. Super fast, they decoded the credentials and got to everything, and they got to code artifact and stole all of the source code. Now, what you can do to avoid it? List privilege. I'm in 2024, and I'm still saying list privilege. Don't give too many permissions. Give only the permissions that you need. Second takeaway, never hard code your credentials. Keep them in a vault. If you're using AWS or Secret Manager or something like this, never hard code it in the code. We're still seeing customers uploading credentials to public repositories, and as somebody smarter than me said, don't. Okay, so thank you everyone. If you want to talk about anything related to containers and serverless, you can definitely reach out. Thanks.